12 Years a Slave manages to join Requiem for a Dream and Schindler's List as great movies that I never ever want to watch again. 12 Years a Slave was directed by Steve McQueen. It stars, I always embarrass myself when I say this because it's like a complicated African name, Chiwetl and Enjoifor. Michael Fassbender, Sarah Paulson, Benedict, Cumberbatch, Paul Dano, Paul Giamatti, Brad Pitt. That sounds about right. There were a lot of people in this movie. This pretty much tells the true story of Solomon Northup, who is a free man living in New York, and he is kidnapped and sold into slavery. And it kind of tells about these different slave houses he goes to, because he goes to about three. He goes to three different slave houses and has these different owners. It kind of tells those stories. It's about slavery and about just injustice, and it makes you feel like a terrible human being. Just so great as far as acting goes. I'm just gonna call him John. So Chiwetl Ejiofor is now John. John was fantastic. He just had his life ruined. He had his life absolutely ruined and ripped up in front of his face. It's horrible, and he just portrays it so well. You feel so terrible for him. Michael Fassbender was absolutely fantastic. He had to portray pretty much every emotion out there, because he was kind of crazy. He was one of the slave owners. But he was he was scary. You kind of felt bad for him at some points. It was really hard to believe. I did, at least. I don't think a lot of people did. Paul Dano was also in this. He was pretty creepy. Benedict Cumberbatch was all nice. He was the nice slave owner. Who else was there? Brad Pitt didn't really have much to... Most of the actors, besides John, didn't really have that much to do. They didn't have much screen time besides John and Michael Fassbender. Everyone else was just kind of there for a little bit, and they did really well with what they had. But those were the most notable performances. Steve McQueen really knows what he's doing. The director, he also directed Shame and Hunger. I haven't seen Hunger, but I was a fan of Shame. He's just good at portraying realism and getting really great performances out of the actors. He's worked with Michael Fassbender multiple times. There's one moment, which, it's not really a spoiler, but there's just one moment I want to talk about in this movie. And I don't remember what happened exactly before it, but John pretty much looks into the camera, and it literally just, I literally had to look away from the screen because I felt horrible, because something terrible happened to him, and then he just kind of looked at the cameras you did this to me, and I wanted to die. It was a little lengthy. I'd say they could have cut out maybe 5-10 minutes. It wasn't too long. Just a few minutes here and there, it would have been better, I believe. It was just a very, very emotional movie. It takes your soul and just punches it in the face, because you just feel so terrible. This movie makes you feel bad. It's a depressing movie, but it's so good. It was very well written. It's an adaptation of the book that Solomon Northup wrote. And the screenplay is good. The lines are realistic. It has a clear plot. So yeah, there's not much to say about the movie, just besides it's really, really sad. It's fantastically acted. It's really well shot. I'm going to give 12 Years a Slave an A. Next we have Only God Forgives.